Hello, my name is Ed Diaz from Roland, and it's my pleasure to be showing you the V-Combo VR-09 here at Kraft Music. For a great deal, make sure and check out the bundles here at Kraft Music. So the VR-09 is broken down into three different sections of sound. The first section is organ, and this is a modeled organ. The next section is piano, and the next section is synth. So let's start off by taking a look at the organ section. In the organ section, of course, we go into our organs. I can press my organ right here in the organ mode. There's three different organ models. The first model is more of a jazz organ, so it's more of a cleaner cabinet. Okay, let's go over to the next model, which is a rock organ, and this one will have a little more dirt in it. Notice a little more noise. And finally, the next model is the transistor. For all your kind of surfer kind of music, kind of have a great time with this one. So let's go ahead and create an organ that we would probably use. Now, one great thing about the VR-09 is there's 7 effects going simultaneously in all the different sounds. First off, we have rotary, we have master effects, which can change according to the sound you have up, delay, reverb, overdrive, tone, and compressor. So let's go ahead and take a look at this organ. First off, if I go ahead and use the pitch bend to the left or to the right, I can turn on or off the rotary speaker. Either way, very easy. So if we wanted to go in and adjust this organ, because everybody's very particular on the type of sound or type of tone they get, there's a couple ways we can do it. First off, we can go inside the VR-09, press the menu button, and if we go ahead and cursor up to organ, we can press enter, and you see right here we can adjust the leakage level. This is how much the noise, just like a new car and an old car. A new car doesn't make that much noise, but as it ages, it starts to hear more of the engine, more kind of hum. Same thing with a traditional cabinet kind of organ. When it's brand new, no noise, but as it ages, you start to hear some of the engine. And that became kind of a cool thing. So if we start here, I'll go ahead and turn off the rotary speaker so you can hear more clearly. No leakage. Start to hear it. And it's going to be a little subtle hum. Okay, it's going to be a little subtle hum, and that's what you're going to hear. So let's continue editing our organ in the VR-09, but we're going to introduce the iPad in here. Now the iPad, I'm going to be running the iPad wirelessly through our WNA 1100 RL, which I have inside the USB memory right here. Now you can also run the iPad using your normal cable, using the digital camera kit. Now remember, there's different types of generations of iPads, so just make sure you use the correct camera kit for that iPad and it'll work. So we can run wired or wireless with the optional network adapter. I don't necessarily need this, but this makes it really fun to edit the organ parts. You'll see that I have all my percussion, my vibrato chorus, my rotary fast and slow. Here's all my acceleration for the tweeter and the woofer. I can adjust my sounds right here, so very quickly. It's just a nice way. Here's my key click, on and off, and my leakage. So with the iPad, I can do it all on one screen. Very nice and easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue to edit the organ, but I'm going to go ahead and switch back to using the VR-09. Right, so we already went ahead and chose the noise level, the key click on and off. So now let's go ahead and have some fun with the drawbars. Okay, so I can go ahead and just adjust very quickly. Some very common sets right here. Maybe turn on the percussion. Okay, and very quickly I can have a very nice sound. So this is just a nice way to check out the organ. Very great sound. Now let's go over from the organ section into the piano section. if I go into my piano, it's very easy to edit the sounds. Now what we did on the VR-09 is we tried to make it very quick for you to edit sounds or create sounds, rather than having going through thousands of sounds to find that one sound. So I might start off with just a basic piano here. Sounds great, totally usable. Now what if I have to play maybe a ballad? I would have to go ahead and search and find that one that has the reverb and the different effects. Well, since the VR-09 has 7 effects going simultaneously, I can just reach over to my reverb knob and bring it in. Very quick. If I want, take it out. We're back to the way we were. What if I have to do some honky-tonk piano? Well, one of the things I can do is adjust the master effects, and this changes according to this type of tone that you have up, and it's set on pitch shifter. So listen now. Maybe I'll drop it an octave right here, my octave switches, and now I have a honky-tonk type of piano I can use. Very fast, very quick, and easy to do. Let's go to the electric piano section now. In the electric piano section, there's going to be common parameters that we adjust. And this is true for all instruments. When we're playing different instruments, there's different effects and parameters that we want to adjust naturally. So on the vintage EP piano, one of the common things I'm going to edit is tremolo. Very fast. Say we'll go into the tremolo. And we go into the tremolo effect, and there's all these different parameters associated with that effect. Well, sometimes if you're new to effects, you're like, I'm not sure what I need to adjust. So we tried to make it easy for you. So we took those common parameters, and we have them to that one knob. So when you spin that one knob, you're actually moving multiple parameters of that effect. So you don't have to worry about it and have to learn all about effects. So I can say, hey, I want more tremolo. No problem. Just adjust it, and you have more tremolo. Now let's do a different effect now. Maybe I want some more overdrive. I can put as much or as little as I want, and now I can have another nice sound. Maybe I'll take off that overdrive. Maybe I'll put on a little bit of reverb. Or maybe I'll put on a little delay. So as you can see, adjusting effects on the VR-09 very fast. Let's do one more on the piano. And on the VR-09, we really tried to focus on sounds that you're going to use in live type of gigs. You know, maybe you're playing in your funk band or your blues band or maybe your top 40 band. And so that's why we're showing these kind of sounds. Make it fun for you. Let's do a clav very quick. And I'll make sure all my effects are off. What's a common effect we're going to adjust on clav? Maybe a little wah, maybe a little phaser. On this example, maybe let's do a little bit of wah. So no effect, very quick. Very quick. Now let's go over to our synth section. In our synth section, we're going to go ahead and start off with our JP8 brass, which sounds like this. Now here's something interesting about the VR-09. When we're in our synth section, now the organ drawbars become synth parameters, basic synth parameters. So parameters such as attack, decay, release, cutoff, and resonance. So we can take a JP8 brass, which is usually built on saws and super saws, has a certain attack. We can adjust that attack and make a slower attack. A little bit softer attack, slower attack. We can adjust when we let go of the key, the release, how long before the keys let go of the sound. So, see, takes a little bit longer, right away, quick release. And now we can shape the sound with our cutoff and our resonance. And so now we took that JP8 brass and turned it into a synth string very quick. So as you see, if we're adjusting different synth parameters, we can do it very quickly within the VR-09. Now what about if we wanted to get even deeper? For all my kind of synth guys that go, hey, I want to get into the oscillator, I want to get into the filter, into the amp, and the LFO, you can. And I'm going to show you how right now. So once again, I've brought up my iPad, and we're going to edit some of those synth parameters. Now, one thing to notice about the iPad and using it with the VR-09, because before I used it with the organ. Watch. If I press organ, the iPad will recognize and it'll go to the organ parameters. If I press synth, it recognizes and goes to the synth parameters. Now let's take a look at some of the synth parameters I can edit. Each synth tone actually has 3 parcels or 3 oscillators. So I can edit different oscillators such as wave, square, pulse wave, go in there, and even supersaw, and even I can go down and edit PCM, and I have up to, I think it's over 300 PCM sounds that I can actually go in there and just kind of have some great fun with. Okay, let's cancel that. Now we can go into the filter right here, and we can adjust our cutoff, our resonance, and we have our ADSR right here at the bottom, our amp, and then also look, our LFO and our modulation LFO. So as you can see, if you want to get really crazy on your synth editing on the VR-09 and get a lot more deep, you can. If you want to keep it simple and quick, you can as well. So don't forget, if you have an optional iPad, you can go ahead and get this free iPad app and go ahead and use it to program your VR-09 with the organ and even deeper with the synth section. Now what about layering and splitting? How difficult is it on the VR-09? Actually, it's very easy. So let's take a common layer, 2 sounds on top of each other, which are piano and string. So I'll choose my piano, and here it is here. Now let's layer it with the string. So piano, string. And now listen, very quick. Didn't have to do much. Now if I wanted to adjust the different levels of those sounds, my organ level is right here with the red. My piano, the levels are right here, and my synth are right here. So maybe I'm playing, and my string is a little too loud. I'll go ahead and turn it down a little bit. Or bring it back up. Very quick. Now what if I want to do a split? Now a split, just as a reminder, is 2 sounds, and we might have a bass on this side of the keyboard and another sound on this side. So there's a split in the middle. So a common split we're going to do is electric piano, and here is the electric piano so you can hear, and a bass. So hold down piano, hit bass, just like we did with the layer, but now we're going to go ahead and press the split button. Very quick. And it has that unison bass because that was the last sound I used. I can go ahead and cursor through my basses and choose a more appropriate bass, and I might want to use a fingerstyle bass. So now, listen, we have, there's my bass. Now what if my bass isn't the correct octave? Well, I can use my cursor buttons, highlight the bass, and press down 1 octave. And now I have more of a correct octave. Very quick, very easy. Now what if I wanted to save these layers or these splits? How do I save them and recall them quickly? Well, the VR-09 has a registration. Now what that is, we can take those splits and layers, anything we've done in the organ or effects, and save it right to 1 button. So there's 25 banks. Each bank has 4 registrations, so that's 100. So if I wanted to save this sound, all I would do is press it down a button like you would in your car, hold it down, and I can go ahead and choose any of the 100 spots I want to put it, and then I can go ahead and delete whatever it says there, and then I can go ahead and write whatever I want, and when I'm ready, press the write button, and there it is. The looper section actually allows you to make 20-second audio loops, up to 20-second audio loops. Now what we can do here is we can go ahead and maybe take a drum pattern, stack it with some synth sounds, a piano, organ, and then once we're done, we can actually save those loops right to a USB key right there so we can call them back later. So let's go ahead and create a loop now. So I already have a drum rhythm that I want to use. All I have to do is press the looper button and press start and stop and press start and stop again so it knows where the loop is. So let's give it a try. Now let's lay down some electric piano. So go to my electric pianos and let's drop it in. Press record and come in on the loop. Here we go. Very simple. Let's take it out of record. Let's go to the bass section and I'll use my finger bass. And let's drop that down 1 octave. And let's record it. Here it comes, the top of the loop. Very nice and simple. Let's go ahead and bring the organ into the mix. Choose my organ. Just bring in the organ. 1, 2, right to the top. There's my organ. Now let's bring in some synth lead. And I'll go ahead and choose maybe a pure beat. And I'm going to go ahead and edit that synth lead with a cutoff and resonance. Let's record it. 1, 2, 3. Now, if I want to save what I just created, I can go ahead once again and save it to the USB memory as an audio file, and I'm ready to go. I can throw it in my favorite DAW, preferably Sonar, and I can go ahead and create my song from here. Now let's take a look at the back panel of the VR-09. So we see right here we have a computer output here, so we can go ahead and plug this in your computer and use it with your favorite DAW. Also, we have our power in right here, phones, and our output, so we can plug this into our amps or our mixer. We have an external input, and this is also for our favorite MP3 player or audio source, and we could run that through the VR-09 as well. Now there's a PK in. For you guys that want to kick pedals like the organ, remember Roland makes a great line of PK pedals. MIDI in and out. Also, one thing to mention, the VR-09, not only can it kick pedals, but if you go ahead and order an extra MIDI controller from Kraft, you can actually have dual manual keyboards on the VR-09. So that's great. So if you really want to be crazy, you can have dual manual keys going and the pedals. So this is really great. Expression pedal, which you can adjust for volume or whatever you want, and also damper right in the back of the VR-09. Once again, my name is Ed Diaz from Roland, and it's been my pleasure showing you the V-Combo VR-09 here at Kraft Music. Make sure you check out the bundles here at Kraft Music. Thank you for watching.